Alrighty, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening for me. It's actually 7 o'clock here in not so shiny London. But welcome to MVP Office Hours number 45. Thanks for joining. And there's just a couple sort of open up rules. Basically, thanks for joining again. MVP Office Hours is basically a forum for Salesforce admins and developers to ask any questions that they might have. We started this on the premise that sometimes it's difficult to have a dialogue when you're answering questions using the other forms that Salesforce provides, such as the answer exchange and things of that nature. So a couple ground rules. Mute yourself if you're not speaking because all lines will be open. Raise your hand to signal that you have a question, or just type it in the chat. And if there's no questions, seems like we have a light group today, we will certainly try to pick on as many people as we can. And without that, let's get started. So the voice you're hearing, my name is Joshua Hoskins. I am a solution architect at Aperio. I've been a member for the community for quite a number of years. And looking forward to hearing your questions today. And if you don't have any, maybe we can start our weekends just a little bit earlier. So I'd like to also start off by introducing some of the other MVPs that are joining me on the call. If you guys would raise your hands, and we'll go from top to bottom. Introduce yourselves, just a little bit about yourselves, and we'll go ahead and take questions. So we will start with Carlos.
I was on mute. I was like, fumble. Anyway, sorry. Thank you, Carlos Villalpando. I'm a senior solutions architect at Modaxo, and just happy to be here and, hope to answer some questions.
Thanks, Carlos, for joining. Dale?
Hi, I'm Dale Ziegler. I am the Salesforce administrator for the Kansas City Southern Railway in Kansas City. I'm also a solo admin, so declarative development, BA, general admin, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks for joining, Dale. Deepa?
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Absolutely.
Hi. So this is Deepa Patel. I'm a Salesforce MVP, and I also run the Salesforce Certification Study Group on the Success Community, and I'm really excited to announce that I'm actually starting with Vertiba as a solution architect starting Monday.
Yay. Congratulations, Deepa.
Thank you.
Nice to hear. Jackie, you're out there.
Yes, I am. Hi, Joshua. Good to hear your voice. This is Jackie Travieso, and I'm out of the Carolinas. Independent contractor, mostly focusing on the Sales Cloud. And if you're ever in the Carolinas, look me up. We'll grab some coffee.
Yay. I want coffee. I'll need some tonight or tomorrow morning, one or the other. Cool. Thanks. Anyone else? Any other MVPs? I just realized that we had a new group join, so I'm not familiar with all their names. All right, so let's get started. So the floor is yours, guys and gals. If you'd like to get started asking questions, just pipe up, raise your hand, or post your question in the chat. Not all at once. All right, let's see who else we have here. We have Lisa. Are you out there?
Yes, Lisa Hess is here.
Lisa, how can we help you today? Let's solve something for you.
Oh, my goodness. Has anyone had the experience with having to downgrade a full Salesforce or Salesforce platform license to chatter-free? Is it a minimum of 2 steps, or I can't find a way to reassign a full Salesforce license to a chatter-free without having to create a new record, user record?
What are some of the, are you seeing, what error messages are you seeing that's causing it to be a 2-step process?
It's just not a choice in a user record. So when I edit a full Salesforce license user. And I go to the user license field. I don't have the choice of a chatter free.
I don't think you can convert a full Salesforce license to a chatter free license.
Correct.
That's what I found. Okay.
You have to deactivate the user license, and you might also have to rename like the actual user login and then create a chatter free license.
Well, thank you. That's affirmation that we did it the right way, or did it the only way, which was we renamed the current user and then created the chatter free license and put the old username on it and then went back to
Hello. Hope everyone's awake.
And then we deactivated the original one.
Yeah, that's the only way you can do it.
Okay. Thanks for the confirmation on that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Lisa. We also have a late joiner. Mr. V. Mike Martin is on the line with us. Mike.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
A man of few words. All right, cool. Mary, are you out there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ooh, it sounds like you're in duplicate. I ask that you mute one of your phones?
Is that any better? No.
I can still hear a slight echo. Maybe your computer is on as well. I see it's on. Your computer's on a headset, and you may be on the phone as well. I'm not really sure, but.
When I tried to hook in the computer, it never let me the connection, so I dialed in.
Okay. Well, we can try to answer your question and see how it goes.
Do I have to be logged in on the computer, or can I just be on the phone?
You can just be on the phone. That's fine.
Then I'll do that.
Is this any
better?
Nope.
Okay, I won't say anything.
Or you can hang up the phone, whichever one is most easiest for you.
So I've
already disconnected from the web login.
Okay, well, give your question a shot, and let's see how it goes.
I didn't have any questions right off the bat. I just like to listen in.
Oh, great. All right, that's fine. Does anyone else have any questions? David, Brenner?
Hello there. Thank you. Actually, I was just listening in as well. I don't have a specific question right now, but thanks.
That is awesome. We have a great host of listener-ins right now. All right, so I'm going to change the topic just a little bit. It's Friday. We can get a little cool. I think what I'd like to do is just chat about what everyone's doing for this weekend and also what people's plans are for Dreamforce. Dreamforce is coming up. It's right around the corner. It's in September and quickly approaching. But, we're also here to answer any questions you might have. Maybe this is your first time attending Dreamforce. And if you have any questions, we're happy to answer those as well. But for the MVPs, I'm going to ask them to just share what their plans are for this weekend. Carlos, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm being a bunch of joy, and I have 3 RFPs due by Monday morning. So I don't know that my wife and my kids are going to be too happy with me this weekend, but the only thing that I'm doing is just writing RFPs for the rest of the weekend. So not much there, but the other thing that I wanted to take the opportunity to ask the group is everyone already signed up for the awesome announcement on the 25th, and is everyone excited about it? Or, is there anyone on the call that doesn't know about the announcement? And if you don't, then we could talk about it for 30 seconds.
Yeah, sure. That's a great opportunity to do so. So I'll just ask candidly, Lisa, David, or Where'd she go? The name's not here. Hey, well, you two, did you guys know about the announcement that's going on? You guys heard anything about it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, our local user group here on Long Island is having a special event so that we can all listen in on it together, but I don't know what the announcement is about.
That's perfect. You don't need to know. You just need to attend. But that's great. It's great to see the messages getting out to that area of town, and you're going to have like a little viewing party. I think that's awesome. I don't know. Let's do this. This is also cool. Hey, Deepa, what can we share about the special meeting that's happening?
Pretty much what's on the invite out there, that we're going to have Parker Harris and Shauna Wolverton and some of the amazing executives at Salesforce at this event. What I don't know if it's a live video stream or if it's just a presentation stream. I don't know that. But I know that whatever they're doing, it's extremely, extremely exciting. And the benefit is that you guys get a preview before Dreamforce. So that's all I can share. Otherwise, I will get slapped on the hand.
So I'll just pile on to that. So those people like Parker Harris and Shauna Wolverton, those people don't mess around. So anything that they're going to be live streaming is definitely worth paying attention to. So it's cool. I'm glad to get the message out there. I'm also very excited to be attending. And
I'm actually physically going to be there. So as I said, I don't know if it's a video recording or just a presentation live stream. If it's a video recording, you might get me on candid camera. Maybe. I have no idea.
You got a photobomb for us, Deepa. You got a photobomb.
I'll try my best.
All right. Good shout out, Carlos. Dale, what are your plans for the weekend, and what are you excited for about Dreamforce?
Okay, so this weekend, with any luck, my wife and I will be in the hospital delivering a baby.
Yay!
Wow! Congrats!
Thank you. Yeah, due date is next Friday, but everything is ahead and big and all of that. So we're just ready to welcome a third child into our house. So that's hopefully going to be this weekend. But if not, we're going to be doing a lot of walking around and whatever to try and get it there. So wherever we can find a place that's not too hot for a 39-week pregnant lady, we will be. So.
Nice.
Dale, I heard Italian food is a good trigger. I do not know if that's true, but that's what I've heard.
Italian and Mexican are at the top of our list. So
very spicy food to get those juices running. You know?
Exactly. So those will definitely be the culinary choices this weekend. So, and then for Dreamforce, bring it down a couple of notches. I, with Jennifer Wobser, will be presenting How to Be a Successful Solo Admin, basically part 2. We did it last year, and we're doing a sequel to it this year, as well as a theater session on So You Inherited or Created a Mess, Now What? So talking about when you get an org that has maybe too many fields, too many validation rules, too many of anything, how can you kind of bring it back in and get back some efficiencies and ultimately bring more value for your users. So those are the presentations I'll be doing, and then just hanging out at the admin zone really the rest of the time. Just trying to meet as many people as possible and being a friendly face.
Very awesome.
Hey, Joshua.
You should bring pictures to Dreamforce with you.
Oh, don't worry, I will be.
Yes, Eva.
Hey, Joshua.
What's up?
How about if we turn the tables a little bit? How about if we let our guests say what they're doing over the weekend and what they're planning for Dreamforce?
Absolutely. Next up is Lisa. What you got going on?
Oh, I'm golfing Sunday morning. It'll be fun. And for Dreamforce, I'm speaking for the first time in 8 years. It's been a dream since 2007, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's a big step.
What session are you doing, Lisa?
It's called Salesforce Reports and Dashboards, Rockstar Customer experience, I think it is.
I might actually be going to that session.
Fantastic. It's happening Tuesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon.
All right. I think I am in one of those.
Great.
Looking forward to it.
Likewise.
Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah,
So,
presenting is definitely an exciting time for for all the first timers.
Funny anxiety about changing my registration from a paid to a speaker. It's almost like I'm afraid everything on my agenda builder is going to disappear.
Probably not. All they'll do is give you a refund. I don't think it's going to affect your ID as long as you're using the same ID to log in.
Yeah. I think my anxiety is unfounded, but it's funny. After all these years of going as one kind of person, it'll
always
be fine.
It is always fascinating though to look at the Dreamforce org, and when you try to make one change in the agenda builder or whatever, was there a rogue admin that put in a workflow rule they didn't necessarily mean to or whatever? So I don't think your fear will be realized, but I hear where you're coming from on it because some pretty quirky things have happened in the past. So
yeah.
Heard, but don't worry.
Lisa, before you make that change in the Dreamforce app, you might just email the event team and let them know, and they may be able to take care of it for you on their end.
Oh, that's a great idea. Okay. And also the company I work for, Axiom, for the first time is going to be a partner this year. So we have an app on the App Exchange now.
Awesome. Hey, one more tip, Lisa. Don't forget to check the checkbox on your speaker profile so that your session can be audio and video recorded.
Great information. Thank you. Good to know.
Yeah, that's really good to know. I'm going through Dreamforce Portal right now.
Yeah, no, this year they have a checkbox, and if you weren't paying attention, it's a drop-down list, and by default it's a no, so you have to go and change it. And so anyone who's speaking, when you log into Dreamforce and you go to your profile, you'll have a speaker profile specifically, and if you scroll down at the bottom, it's a drop-down list that says yes or no. So make sure you check yes so that they can legally record you. And then I think this year they're planning to video record a lot of the sessions, but you need that checkbox. If one speaker on a panel does not have it, they won't record the whole session.
Oh, that's good to know.
Great to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deepa, with that change, do you know if they're also going to record the theater sessions or anything in the admin zone?
I don't know about the admin zone. I know that the breakout sessions are definitely getting recorded.
Okay, great. Thanks.
They might. I mean, I don't know. And I mean, one thing might be good is for those of the MVPs that are not speaking, maybe it would be a good idea to get some of them to step up and say, hey, take your cell phone and record this, I don't know. I don't know if that's allowed or not. Do you know what I mean? But maybe that's a good question to ask in the admin track developers group or our speaker group, right? Like the group that we have for speakers. It might be a good idea to ask and say, hey, if all the other sessions are getting recorded, are the admin theater zone sessions getting recorded? Because I think last year they audio recorded it. I don't know that they video, I don't know if there's plans to video record. I think last year they did record the admin theater sessions, didn't they?
I never saw any, but that doesn't mean that they didn't.
Oh, okay.
And they have theater sessions at different locations. So they had them at the Hilton for, I'm trying to think of what the sessions were. But they had all of the hands-on training in that area, plus they had the Salesforce University in that area, and they had a theater.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Awesome. Hey, Sonia has just joined us. I was wondering if you had a question that we would want to address, or you could be listening in.
No, I'm all set. I was just listening in.
All right.
Thank
We're just
you.
talking about Dreamforce. Hey, no worries. Hey, Dennis, did you have a question? See, you've joined as well.
Not really. No, just listening. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Joshua, I actually have a question for the group because I'm just now starting to play with duplicate management. And I've been working through some different scenarios, and I thought maybe I could get some feedback if anybody else is using it and some best practices. So we just want to do really simple duplicate identification based on email. And initially I was considering both first and last name as a fuzzy match. Email is an exact match. First and last name is a fuzzy match. And then I got to thinking maybe that's going to generate too many results depending on the size of the database or the number of records on the particular object. And I'm wondering if anybody else has worked with something as simple as just email and name or email and company name depending on the object. And the second part of my question is because then with each one of those duplicate sets or records, Salesforce creates a record that identifies that as a duplicate, and then those records dump into the report. How are people managing those reports to keep the number of duplicate records under control and reviewed? So I'm trying to minimize the number of results, but getting the best results. And I've heard some people have been doing some creative rules. Anyone?
I'm going to be honest with you. I just learned a whole lot from you just saying that because I'm not up to speed on what is native in the platform in terms of duplicate manager. So you and I are both going to learn something. If someone has an answer to your question, I'm certainly going to be schooled this evening.
Fantastic.
Who else has played around with it?
Yeah, great.
This is Carlos. I don't know that I can. I don't know how much value I can add to your question, but we turn it on basically when the feature became available, and we just turn it on at the most basic level, like you said, at just email. We're not doing anything else because we're assuming that all our contacts, because they're business contacts, the chance that there are two people sharing a work email has to be very small. So that's what we turn it on, and now no one has reported like a duplicate. So I'm still waiting for someone to try to do one to see what the end user experience is going to be. But so it's been a couple months, and so far so good. But that's as far as we got. We just turn it on the contacts and on the leads on just email.
And based on the volume of records, how many of your records have email addresses versus are blank so that they wouldn't be caught in that duplicate role?
It actually we in that sense we do have a validation rule. All our contacts and leads have emails. We don't allow, they're not used to us if we don't have an email. So we force everyone to at least put an email. Because you're right. Once that you take the email out, like if you have, if you want to just have the names and maybe phone numbers, it might be a little bit more difficult.
Because the other thing too is that I'm finding if you create a record or you edit a record, if you edit a record and you're only matching on email, let's say you've got an existing database and you turn this on and you say only match on email. If you edit the record, but let's say you edit the phone number, since it's not looking at the phone number as a match, it doesn't trigger the rule to even run. So it only triggers based on the fields that you are searching, matching against.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So the last statement that you just made, right? Like logically, and I haven't set it up, so I don't know. But like when that email was added, wouldn't you be checking for duplicate when that email was added in the record? Why would you want it to recheck when you're changing a phone number?
Well, for any of your existing records, let's say you're editing.
Oh, existing records. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out.
So what you're saying is it only triggers when you're changing an email, otherwise it doesn't trigger?
Oh, yeah, only on what you're searching against or what you're trying to match against.
you could if you want to get in a bunch of trouble, which that's my middle name, sometimes you could do like force a refresh on all of them. Like doing a data load or something like that. Taking them out and literally put them back in, even with the same value, and that will trigger the rule. So you could export 10 emails and just resave the same emails back into the records, and that will force the trigger to go to do something. Now, I'm not sure what it will do if you do it on the data load. I don't know if the data load will throw you an exception and say, hey, I wasn't able to update this one because it's repeated. But if that is what it's doing, which makes kind of sense, that is not firing up unless that you touch the field that you are evaluating. That's what I would have done. Do an export and then just an upstart, just basically changing nothing. But that will make the trigger fired up.
Yes, and
so do you have a sandbox?
For this one particular, I do not. They're on PE.
Oh.
I did. I can mess with it in a dev org, but I'm just still not getting. I'm not getting enough results to say, is this generating the right number of results? And then the second part is that report. And to answer your question, Carlos, about the using the data loader, for that org, I have to use configure a data loader. And yes, it does. It will not load the records if it identifies it as a duplicate based on the duplicate match records.
Okay.
So I either have to turn all the rules off, or I have to scrub everything before it even goes into the upload.
Wow.
PE, good times.
Oh, no. Every time that I have to work with a PE, I have to reach for a adult beverage.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think creatively, for sure. So,
and ladies and gentlemen, that is the next quote for MVP Office Hours.
Oh, great.
All right. Well, thank you for listening and throwing in some suggestions and thoughts. So hopefully maybe we can continue to learn together on this one, because it's got me a little perplexed.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
Absolutely. So whatever you find, Jackie, please bring it back to the group and share what you find out.
Okay.
All right, then. Well, if there are not any more questions, I think I have an adult beverage with my name on it as well.
Well, should we not give anybody else an opportunity to say what they're doing over the weekend and what their plans are for Dreamforce?
Absolutely not, Deepa. Absolutely not. We should do that. We should do that. Does anyone else want to share what they're doing for Dreamforce or what they're doing this weekend? Come on.
Nobody?
We got to do it now. Deepa, hey, you got to go.
I'll go. I'll go.
Anybody? Well, let's ask this. Is anybody else who just joined, are they first-time attenders at Dreamforce?
Yeah.
And scared out of their mind? Because they shouldn't be.
Nobody?
No newbies? All right. Well, cool.
Huh?
Deepa, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh, going to be a stress monkey, I guess. So I am pampering myself tomorrow. I'm going to go get my hair colored. Like every other piece of my hair is gray, so I'm going to go get some beautification done with it, getting manicure and pedicure. And then Sunday I'm doing a garage sale. Pretty much decided that I need to pull half my house out of the closets and the little knickknacks, nooks everywhere, and sell them, because I don't want to pay for the move for stuff that I don't necessarily want or need anymore. So that's my weekend, and I'm really excited about Dreamforce. This year I'm doing 3 sessions. So one of my sessions is with Mike Martin, who's on the call, wonderful Mike. If we can get our schedules aligned, both of us are like really crazy. But we're doing all 3 sessions together, in fact. So Mike and I are doing a session on careers with Brent Downey. And I would say you guys should all come and visit us or come and join our session. And Mike, do you want to get the details for our sessions while I chatter, and you can give everybody the details? But basically, it's a session on where we talk about the careers that you can build with Salesforce, and we're going to give you guys some tools that will help you set some goals and track, and so it's going to be exciting. And then we're doing a session for Analytics Cloud, 2 sessions. One is we're just going to talk about Wave, basics to dashboards. So it's going to be a really cool session. We're going to do some hot demos. And then Mike and I are actually doing a hands-on training on the Analytics Cloud Wave, where we're going to show how to build a dashboard. So I'm really excited.
Very cool. Deepa, we actually have a question by Dennis. Dennis, are you out there?
Yeah, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's your question? Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to throw the wet blanket on the Dreamforce talk, but actually I do have a question. So I'm working on a project where we have a custom object, and it's used by most of the company, but we have a new group that wants to use the same object, and we'd like to rename it to something that makes more sense to them from a business standpoint. So I believe if I do a straight renaming of the tab, everyone in the whole company is going to, all the Salesforce users are going to see the change, correct? I guess my question is, how do I go about changing this tab for this one custom object so that only people in this one group who are in certain profiles we can do it by profile? Is that possible?
I don't think that that's possible.
Yeah.
Because you can rename standard objects using the Salesforce rename capability, but custom objects, I believe, that's very interesting. I don't think you can. Does anybody else know? I don't think you can rename custom objects for a specific group of people. You either rename it completely, and even with the standard renaming, if you're renaming it's for everybody, it's not by a certain group of people.
So a hack that you could do, and it might be too out there, but you could use the translation services, and that will allow you to basically, quote unquote, rename, and I put in air quotes, any object that's any field in the system, and that user group will have to just get that other language assigned. So if you can assign them I don't remember exactly if you can do English and like English localized, like English here and English British or Australia, then you could assign that language to a certain group of users, and they will get those quote-unquote translations, and that might work. I know that I did it once with one field that we needed to rename something else, and with the renaming didn't work, and we used the translation services option to change some labels to something that we were not able to do the other way. So what I will do if I were you is I just create a dev org and give it a try there, just to see if as a proof of concept and see if it works. That's something that you might want to try, and then let us know if it works.
Carlos,
so you could do it in a sandbox as well.
Yeah,
you.
That's why your middle name is Trouble, Carlos.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because then I show Salesforce that we did that stuff, and they're like, "You did what? No."
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's good for us to be transparent. So yes, that is a workaround, but I do think that there are some questions to be asked if you're trying to rename an object. Like, why does this team want to call it something different? Is them calling it something different going to mean a different thing for them? And should you have two custom objects, or are they sharing the same information? So it might be worth digging in a little bit more on why that is, but certainly translations is a good way to do it. But just keep in mind, Carlos's middle name is Trouble.
But Joshua, does the translation around you allow you to do it by a certain group of people? Is it by roles
yes.
or?
So the way that it would work is those people would have to change the language on their profile to something that wasn't translated except for that one custom object or that one custom label.
But then the language is all international languages, so you would still select English? I don't understand.
Yeah, so the languages really only convert. You can get like an English language, but they only really convert where they're translated. So like you could do something like, I think there's one more English in there to be selected. There's another type of English to be selected for sure, I think.
I'm looking at it right now. There's only one English in there.
Yeah, I think they got it resolved that there's one option per language, but it's your location that
your locale
changes because of time zones and all of that good stuff.
So your locale, a combination of the two. A combination of your language and your locale may determine what actually pulls through the translation workbench, if my memory serves me correctly. But Deepa, the answer to your question is it would have to be controlled by the language setting if you're using translation workbench to do this.
Yeah,
and then you run into the problem with
it's not a pretty hack, and it's one of those that you really I echo what you're saying. Just don't bend at the will of the end user and just go say like, yeah, we'll go and do the hack. Poke and push a little bit back on why they want it. And you don't want to do this type of hacks. Even retracted my own statement on that, because eventually you don't know what is going to change, down the road, and then you can get in trouble. But if it's not the only option, it is a hack, and just do it with a big safe harbor statement. Your mileage might vary, and just be aware that will be there. And if one day you leave, talking on the session of like you inherited a mess, now what? You will leave a mess for someone else.
Well, and
that's
and
exactly right.
Well, and part of that mess, if I could talk to my presentation, more immediately than down the road is when you flip that switch. If you don't have a multi-English option, how much standard stuff are you changing?
You will have to translate.
What?
No. Keep going.
Yeah, so it will appear in English if it's not translated, basically.
Even standard fields and objects and all that stuff, because I'm admin for U.S. and Mexico, and we have our Mexico users all as Spanish, so cases are casos with no definition.
That's if you change it to, Well, I think you're right. I think it's a combination of locale and language itself.
Okay.
And I think that it will pull through basically the default on the language if there's no locale setting. But it's been a while. It's been like a year since I've worked with Translation Workbench. But I think bottom line is that yes, it's completely possible. Number one rule is Salesforce is definitely too configurable. Don't leave someone else with a mess. And I think that there's a training element to it as well, right? I think that if two different groups are calling the one object the same way, there might be some way to get one group to call it whatever it should be in the company. But Dennis has another question. It's like, what about create tabs or web tabs? So I guess you could do a web tab and just point it to that object. That may be.
Yeah, but the thing is, Joshua, everywhere else it's still going to appear with that same name.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like there's a fundamental problem here is like, why is it that they want to call it something different? And if it's like a huge thing, then maybe there needs to be a complete segregation of the object into a different object, but then that creates problems with reports. I mean, there's a business problem here more than a Salesforce problem, I think.
Well, let's hear the justification, Dennis. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty, but we have a sales team that their market has very different language and jargon than the rest of the company. We're talking only a 50-person group, out of a 13,000-person company. This is a nice to have. It's not a must-have, but it just seems to me, again, a little frustrating. Salesforce can't do this easily, but to just give them the tab, and then maybe using their customized tab settings, show them, instead of them showing them the original custom name, show them the web tab name that points to the custom object. So they have that.
Yeah, but then is this group of salespeople going to be looking at reports and dashboards and do you know what I'm saying? Is the name will not translate everywhere else in the system.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Some of them a few of them will be doing reports. They need to be educated on that, and they know the history of the custom object. Like they know, we'd like to. They're familiar. They work with the name of the previous custom object, but part of the requirements were, can we change the name for us, so they know, if they see the old name, they know what it is and everything. It's not like it would spin them out of control. But I didn't realize the reports might be an issue, so that's something to think about.
Yeah, the reports and dashboards definitely will be an issue because it's going to keep showing the old name.
Yeah, that may be
Chatter,
okay. I don't know.
like, do you guys use Chatter?
They don't use it very much, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
So, well, maybe I'm in the sandbox. Maybe I'll try this web tab, and see what it looks like at least, and then maybe at least I don't know. Well, this other hack, the translation workbench sounds really tricky though to me, so I don't know about that one. But anyways, appreciate the ideas.
David, one more thing. If you don't want to do this in your sandbox and you want to do it in a standalone dev org, you can package from your production org and push that into your dev org. So you don't have to recreate everything, and you don't have to mess with your sandbox if it's in some sort of review before pushing things over into your production org. I don't know what your process is, but that is an option for you. And it's something that I only learned maybe 18 months ago, that I can package from one org and move it to a completely independent org easily.
Hey, Jackie, you've got a train the trainer session for the MVPs there.
Really?
I think so.
Huh. Well, it was
not every. I don't know that every MVP knows how to do it.
It was pretty darn cool. I'll grab the instructions and I'll put it out on our MVP office hours so everyone can take a look at it.
That would be awesome.
The trick is you got to make sure you grab all the components the first time.
No, yeah, got it. But
yeah.
I think that would be good. That would be something really good to share.
Okay, I will definitely do that because it saved me a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
All right.
I can learn something from you.
I think we all have something to learn from each other. So with that being said, and does anyone else want to share what their plans are for Dreamforce or what they're doing this weekend before we wrap up?
I'm excited about all of the HOTS, the hands-on training. That's always my mission when I go to Dreamforce. And as a matter of fact, I've also asked, I don't remember where it was, but I've asked for them to package all of the components and PDF all their instructions and put them out on the chatter groups for each of the sessions so that we can download it into an org that doesn't expire in 30 days. So I'm hoping that they will do that for us.
Oh, did you ask Brooke about that?
I posted it in a couple of places. But if you've got a contact that I can reach out to directly, I'm happy to do that.
Let me see if I can make an introduction to Brooke for you. But
Okay,
I mean, she's actually managing the HOTS though, so I don't know if she's the ultimate decision-making authority on it.
Okay. We can start with her and she can escalate it. That'd be great.
Yeah, and or maybe like I can even make an introduction to Wayne, you know, who was at the MVP
Deepa
summit.
knows people. Watch out.
She does.
All right.
Oh, God. Yeah. They don't always listen to me, though.
Well, that's an into shape, Deepa. Okay, very cool. So for me, I'm excited for Dreamforce. I'm doing one talk this
What are you talking about?
Year. That would be great. I would know what I'm talking about because it's in the org. I'm talking about internal releases, but I'll know what I'm talking about when I get my slides submitted. So that's
hey, so Joshua, are you open to this idea for today's call? Can we post links to our sessions on the MVP office hours?
Absolutely.
Okay. I like that. Would you guys like that, the people who are on the call, the audience?
Of course. Can you guys do it in one post? Like post it, everybody post it in the comments? Like do one and then post everything in the comments so it's all together?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Thank you.
All right. Cool, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap up about 10 minutes early. Thank you, everyone, for joining MVP Office Hours. What is this? 75. And I wish everyone a very happy and merry weekend. And we'll see everyone back in 2 weeks. And you might have another random guest host until Jared gets back. All right, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.